Good morning, students. My name is Bob Pipkin, and first of all, I'm very honored and very humbled to be here today. And I want to thank your faculty and staff for inviting me to speak to you today about this very important issue. To me, it's about education. And I'm going to take a few minutes and tell you a bit about myself before I get started. Not that I have this big ego, but I think it's imperative and important you know exactly where I'm coming from, and you'll be able to relate with my position. About 20 years ago, I was asked to speak at a conference. The conference was in San Francisco, and I was petrified after they told me it was going to be 1,000 people at this particular conference. And I tossed and turned all night trying to get my thoughts together. But once I made a decision to do this presentation, sent my information in, and it was in California. Matter of fact, it was in San Francisco. As I arrived, I met the people, and they began to tell me, and I gave my topic and everything like this. And so as I arrived at the convention, it was 1,000 people. My stomach started turning. And as they introduced me, I walked up on stage. I got behind a podium, and all of a sudden, I broke down, and I began to cry. I cried unequivocally for 15 to 20 minutes. The audience was stunned. And once I got my composure together after that 20 minutes, I began to let the audience know. I began to reminisce about my past. And my past is very painful. Now, I was thinking about it. I graduated from Aliquippa High School in 1963. When I graduated at the bottom of my high school class. Also, I had a speech impediment. And there was one teacher I will never forget. Her name was Caroline Thiel. She brought me into office one day, and my nickname was Pip. Only book I ever read in high school was The Great Expectation. The character's name was Pippin. I enjoyed that. So she sat me down. She said, "Pip, you have a lot of abilities and a lot of leadership skills, but most of the staff feel that you will never amount to anything. You come from a very poor family. No one in your family has ever been educated, and they don't think you can do it. But I believe very strongly, I've witnessed some things that you've done, and I think you can do well." I was an All-American basketball player. All-State, had scholarships from every place. But you know what? I had no grades. She said, "I'm going to help you. Find a place where you can grow and be nurtured." She helped me. Wichita University offered me a scholarship, but I couldn't get in because of my academic grades. They sent me to a junior college, Dodge City Junior College, which was in a one-room building. I graduated in 2 years with associate's degree. I graduated 2.3 grade point average, which wasn't bad. Remember, I graduated from Aliquippa High School at the bottom of my high school class, 363 students. Once I graduated from Dodge City, I had numerous scholarships, but I decided to take a scholarship to the University of Idaho. I graduated from University of Idaho in 1967 with a 2.1 grade point average. I signed a professional contract with the St. Louis Hawks foreign teams, and I played in Europe for a couple of years. After that, I decided to come back to the States. I came back to my roots, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I received a job through the Pittsburgh Board of Education as a teacher, but they told me it would happen because of my grade. I was on probation. I had to go back and get my master's, had to maintain a certain grade level. So I decided I wanted to enroll in Duquesne University. They have what they call this Miller's Analogies test. When you take this test, you got to score 50 points or above. I scored 10. And they told me, they said, "No, you can't get in this university. It's a private university in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, real prestigious university." A friend of mine knew the dean of students, Dr. Jack Livingston. She called Dr. Livingston. And Dr. Livingston had me come in, and he said, "Listen, Mr. Pipkin, we looked at your transcript. You didn't do well in high school or college, and you took the Miller's Analogy. You did very poorly. But I've never done this before, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to take a couple classes and see how well you do. If you do well, which I doubt, we'll let you in. I had 2 courses, educational research and a philosophy course. I took those 2. He said, if you receive a C or you fail, you're out. At the end of that semester, I finished with a B and an A. I graduated from Duquesne University with a 3.67 grade point average. I also received my principal certification. I was elated. For the first time in my life, I felt worthy of what Mrs. Steele had said to me. From there, I went to the University of Pittsburgh, received all my coursework for my doctorate. My school superintendent, I finished University of Pittsburgh with a 3.8 grade point average. I tell you this story because I think if I can help one person, as I indicated to you, it was very painful for me. Since that time, I was written up in USA Today, the New York Times, Stars and Stripes. I've done a TV program. But I tell people, you have to dream. You dream beyond your wildest imagination. If you continue to believe in yourself, anything can happen. It was so many people that didn't believe in me. And since I was the first one in my family to go to college, I motivated a litany of my nephews and nieces. I had a brother that graduated from Niagara University. I had 2 nephews. They went to Carnegie Mellon University and got a degree in engineering. Another nephew went to Columbia. They both got MBAs from Wharton School of Business. I had a niece who went to Harvard. I got a scholarship to Harvard. Had another niece, had a full scholarship to the University of Michigan. Because someone in the family has to set the tone. And I say this to each and every one of you. If my story can reach out and help one person, I'm just very honored. And so with that, I'll get into some additional questions. I just want to thank you for just being a great audience. As I continue my presentation, if you like what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm saying, give me a thumbs down. So, hey, I just want to thank you for having me. And after this is over, any questions that you may have, I will be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you for being a great audience and have a wonderful day.